Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about reading a dialogue. So a dialogue is one of the reading tasks that you'll be asked to do on the OSSLT. It's really all about these things. A lot of times you'll find that in this selection it's about punctuation. So they'll ask you about certain conventions and why they're used, and I'll show you the example. The other big thing, and probably the most important thing, is that this selection is all about inferences. Now, inferences are about reading between the lines. So unlike an information paragraph, there's no explicit topic sentence in this reading. You need to figure out what the author is saying based on what happens with the characters in this fictional passage. And you'll need to back up whatever inferences you make with evidence from the task. Okay, so what can you do? When reading a dialogue, you probably want to read the questions first. And remember that going into it, many things are going to be implied rather than stated outright. So you're probably not going to find a sentence that says, Mr. Jones feels angry with Mrs. Jones. You're going to have to sort of figure it out by what Mr. Jones says. And this is where they might ask about grammar or writing conventions. So what I've got here is the reading selection, and here are the questions related to it. Now, what you're looking at, what your question booklet will look like, I will show you once we write up the answer how it might look slightly different in the answer booklet. So you don't need to know this right now, but there's a question booklet and an answer booklet, and all your answers go in the answer booklet. Okay. The multiple choice questions for the reading passage are asking me, from where are Bu and Hong getting their information? Okay, so I need to find out like where their information is from. They're saying a tablet, the internet, newspaper, senior center. They're also asking, what is the meaning of cognitive as used in paragraph 3? So when I get to paragraph 3, I need to pay attention to that. What does the break between paragraphs 8 and 9 indicate? So there's a break in paragraphs, okay? According to the selection, which example would best support the headline, use it or lose it, found in paragraph 2? Okay, so I'm going to have to pay attention to the headline, use it or lose it, because it's going to ask me what it's referring to, okay? And what is the purpose of the single quotation marks in paragraph 12? See, so this is the sort of example of the grammar usage that they're going to ask me about in this reading. Also, I want you to note here that there are open response questions. We're only going to answer one. But it says here, explain how Bu is a supportive granddaughter. Use specific details from the selection to support your answer. So just by glancing at this, I know that I need to look for details about how she is a supportive granddaughter. All right, so here are some of the things that you can expect in a multiple choice question selection for a dialogue reading. You're going to have to be able to do definitions in context, comprehension of writing conventions and punctuation, as well as understanding what the overall reading is. So if we look at these questions here, they're asking you where you're getting the information from. So this is a comprehension question. It's asking if you understand the reading, okay? From where are Bu and Hong getting their information? 2, what is the meaning of cognitive as used in paragraph 3? See, this is looking for definitions and context. So you're supposed to use the reading to help you define that word. 3, what does the break between paragraphs 8 and 9 indicate? This is a comprehension of writing conventions or punctuation, okay? And then number 4, according to the selection, which example would best support the headline, use it or lose it? Again, they want to see if you understand what the information is that you're getting. And then question 5 is, what is the purpose of the single quotation marks in paragraph 12? That's writing conventions. So they're looking for grammar. This is the reading selection, and I'm going to read it to you very quickly. And we're going to stop. I'm going to pause to sort of go over certain things that I have learned to look for based on reading the questions first. So, from our open response question here, I know that I need to explain how Biu is a supportive granddaughter. So we're gonna sort of make mental note of that. In the kitchen, Hong was poring over the North Bay Nugget. Now, our first question was, where are Biu and Hong getting their information from? And it's the North Bay Nugget. It doesn't tell you what it is. Biu squinted at the headline, "Use it or lose it." What does that mean? According to studies, her grandfather explained, all older people experience a decline in brain function, but of the people tested, 80% saw improvements with daily cognitive exercises. There's our word cognitive. They wanted us to define it. I should take the study's advice. What kind of advice? Inquired Biu. The researchers recommend thinking tasks. I should do a Sudoku puzzle every day. Hong chuckled, but I'm not sure I have the patience or the math skills. Biu scanned the article's highlights in the sidebar. Seniors who speak at least 2 languages perform 40% better on memory tests. You could brush up on your Cantonese. He nodded. I've been considering joining the Chinese Senior Center again. You could walk there, she pointed and read. Half of all socially active seniors experience mental health benefits. Just getting to that center would also allow you to engage in some exercise. In this reading here, this part, Biu and Hong, who is her grandfather, are having a conversation about how he can improve his cognitive function, and in this last part, they also talk about physical exercise. Now, see these are the 3 asterisks or dots in this break, and I want you to think about, what does this signify? Thanks for walking with me, Biu. Even though it's frigid, this will promote my health. But when it's snowing, ... continued Hong. I know the perfect solution for a snowy day. Stay home and do brain training games on your tablet. Well, it doesn't take me 15 minutes to locate hockey statistics on the internet anymore, replied Hong. So here's one thing that I want you to note about reading the dialogue. Notice here it doesn't say who's speaking, but it does happen in a separate paragraph. That means that there's 2 people talking and the alternating one is the other person, okay? Because it begins with a quotation mark. So even though this sentence here has no said, whatever, continued, whatever, I know that this is Biu talking to Hong. Smiling, Biu replied, didn't that article say that learning something new is crucial? 38% of seniors improve their scores after practicing a new skill. It's a twofer. Twofer? Asked Hong, puzzled. 2 for 1. You learn to play the games, a new skill, and then you train your mind through daily exercise. The end. So here I have the multiple choice questions next to the reading. All right, so the first question was asking where they're getting their information from. The answer is the newspaper. It's not, again, explicitly stated in the text. It just says it's from the North Bay Nugget. Now, I mean, it could be an online newspaper, but generally speaking, you have to assume or infer that that is a newspaper. What is the meaning of cognitive as used in paragraph 3? So here it says, according to studies, daily cognitive exercises. So in here, it's definitely a mental exercise. It's not physical, it's not necessarily repetitive, and it's not communal. So cognitive, because they're talking about brain function, that's the clue that tells you that they're talking about the brain. What does the break between paragraphs 8 and 9 indicate? What do you think? This is a change in setting or a passage of time, right? Because here they're having a conversation, and then if you read the first sentence here, it talks about that they're doing a different activity. Thanks for walking with me, Biu. So they have changed the settings. Same characters, sort of same point of view. Okay. According to the selection, which example would best support the headline, use it or lose it, found in paragraph 2? Cold weather promotes health? Probably not. Sudoku puzzles require patience? Not really. I mean, they do, but if you look at the use it or lose it, learning a second language improves memory, or using the internet to find statistics improves brain function. This is a tricky one. So remember that they're talking about cognitive exercises. So while in this part, they discuss using the internet and using the tablet as a way to learn something new and begin an improved brain function, when they use the title Use It or Lose It, what they're talking about is ways to improve cognition or brain function. And so here we see Bu talks about speaking a second language. What is the purpose of the single quotation marks in paragraph 12? A, to show emphasis, B, to enclose the headline, C, to indicate a specialized meaning, or D, to identify words taken from elsewhere. So basically, here, we've got to find them. See here, Babam and Babam, 38% of seniors improve their scores after practicing a new skill. This is, Bu is quoting within a quotation. This is to indicate that she is saying something from a different source within her source. When answering your paragraph response, make sure that you still use the point proof connection format that we learned about last week. For your paragraph response, it's going to be slightly different because remember the question that we're answering is, explain how Bu is a supportive granddaughter. Use specific details from the selection to support your answer. They've given me basically what my topic sentence or my thesis or the idea of my paragraph is going to be. It's that Bu is a supportive granddaughter. Then it wants me to find details to support the answer. Okay, so the point is we need to answer the question. We need to say, this is what the paragraph is about. So, or this is how Bu is a supportive granddaughter. Proof. I'm going to give one example from the text that allows me to infer the point. Remember, with this fictional dialogue, it probably won't be said in so many words. There is no sentence in the reading that says, I'm such a supportive granddaughter because blah, blah, blah. So, unfortunately for us, we need to infer what makes her a supportive granddaughter. And then the connection, we've got to tie the proof to the point. We're going to use words like therefore, due to this, it's, and stuff like that to sum up the point. This is what the question will look like in your answer booklet. So again, just like the last one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lines. So I can't stress to you enough how important it is that you get all of your stuff done within these 6 lines. If you go significantly over, they will not mark what you write. Also, remember that you have this whole area for rough notes, which I am definitely going to use. So here I've written all of my rough notes, and helpfully they've given me basically all I need for my topic sentence, okay? So they want me to discuss how Bu is a supportive granddaughter and to find examples from the text. So I found 2 things. One is that Bu suggests ways to prevent a decline in brain function. And the other one is that she spends time with her grandfather and walks with him. So I'm gonna write up this answer, and here it is. Bu is a supportive granddaughter because she is concerned about Hong's brain health. Notice that I didn't write grandfather. Hong is shorter, so that's why I used it. She suggests ways that Hong can prevent a decline in brain function and spends time walking with him to promote his health. These actions demonstrate her care of and support for Hong. So if we were to look for all of our stuff, here, this is my point. She's a supportive granddaughter because she is concerned about Hong's brain health. This is my proof. She suggests ways that Hong can prevent a decline in brain function and spends time walking with him to promote his health. Okay? Then the connection. These actions demonstrate her care of and support for Hong. And that's it. Now it's your turn. So open up your booklets and read the dialogue, answer the multiple choice questions, and try writing the paragraph answer.